And welcome back yet again, everybody, to the Wizard Wild Rift Tournament with Ravish Ravish and, of course, Andy Farr back on the mic with y'all, bro, as we head on in to game numero tres. As Andy Farr, broski, we just keep getting new comps back to back, bro. Ain't nobody staying consistent, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm also loving it. The fact that we have the blind pick so far, it really probably would make the teams want to min-max and maybe just bring about the same things, but they're not. They just keep innovating. We see the Ezreal once again paired up with the Braum, and now on the Dragon side, but we see the Akali for the first time on both sides. It's just such a fun champion to watch, such a strong champion as well in the Wild Rift, and we're going to see how that works. We see the Kai'Sa for the first time as well, a great team fighting champion, one of the best marksmen in the game, and I'm very excited to see that. And Aurelion Sol, of course, he can drift through the Wild Rift with his stars, and it's also a very interesting roaming champion to observe. Let's see if he can get those roams off, or if Akali is going to shut him down very early.
I'm personally surprised to see the ASOL within this game, considering just the nerfs that came in not too long ago, which really affecting his clear speed, because kind of just giving away a lot of the pride that he had very early on. So I'd be interested to see if he's actually able to maintain it. And yeah, on the other end, though, Akali just so oppressive, but Dragon might be in some trouble, might be looking for it. The other end, the stars go out and they align beautifully. That's first blood. For me, I take back everything I said.
Now that's what I call a celestial expansion. He just goes over to the next solar system, gets the first kill, bye misses.
No, no way! He levels up in time. Oh, and the stars call his name even more so. But on the other end, the turret dive happens. The Braum's taken out immediately. Those spikes hurt. That's a 2v2 going in the favor of Black Camel.
Oh my gosh, Mulzer just gets those 2 kills so sublime on the ASOL. It's very nice to watch this champion, such a skill-expressive champion, already making such a fuss here in the mid lane. And in the meantime, in the bot lane, we also see 2 kills going the way of Black Camel, and so far they're just dominating. If there's something that we've learned about this game in particular, okay.
On the back end, though, such a battery lands, though, musically takes a lot of damage, but it's not enough to take him down. And Akali goes in, but cannot perfectly execute it, unfortunately. Gets executed herself.
Yeah, she is by a giant celestial
no.
dragon that just keeps bringing the thunder into the Wild Rift. It's just 5 kills to Black Camel. It's 3 minutes in, and they already have a 3.5k gold lead. This is insane to watch. And as I was saying, if there's one thing we've learned is whoever... Oh, Jackie.
No way. He goes into the stick lands at the back. Does actually knock up anybody. Barry's in trouble. No! He can't put up the unbreakable as Ezreal shatters. Javi has to flash over, knock up at the back. Tornado will not disengage in time. Medusa might be in trouble. Concussive blows. One more Odyssey able to do it, but he's dodging. He gets the kill on the back end too. Black Camel at the back for support. That's why his name is on the banner. How do they keep doing this?
What? Black Camel are so good. They're so clinical. They just keep it up time and time again. 5,000 gold. Infernal Drake. Already, that's such a huge boost. That's the best dragon in the game. Right there. Straight to the hands of the Black Camel. And they're not stopping there. Akali's in the shroud.
Not for longer as she exits out. Gets stunned. The back of Methuselah is there for the support at least. But I thought it was going to be a soul kill mid lane, bro. I can't even... And there's this thing, right, where like, bro, my doctor is saying that all this excitement is not good for my heart, bro. But it does not end up stopping. Kali tries to go for what looked like an easy soul kill, but instead it's taken out by her counterpart, KDA Kali supremacy.
Oh wow, the Akali just reigns supreme in the Baron lane, because in the mid lane, yikes, she's really not getting out of place. The dragon is just too much for her to handle. She does get the honey fruit there. She does get a little bit of sustain, but will it be enough? She goes for the play. Nope, turret's done.
Yep.
Just gone.
Yeah, they actually cannot do anything at all, bro. But
Oh no,
man,
Rampage.
man, I'm gonna need to have 911 on speed dial with just all this going on right now. I don't know if my heart can take this much. It's like already saying, it is 10 kills already. When the first 5 minutes, there's almost a 7 kills, the 8K goal lead going over to Black Camel, and like you said, they're just so good. Execution, close. You could almost say that, going back a little bit to your point, you could almost say that they got a perfect execution.
Wow. Yeah, that really is a joke. But yeah, Black Camel are really executing it very, very well. They are everywhere they need to be. They are not letting up on these laning matchups. And Bye Bye is really going bye bye on that Vi. He's just not getting anyone when it comes to picks. He's always getting just out jungled by Camille. That's just really putting in the work and just being everywhere at once. Asami and Jackie are also very threatening at this point. And wow, is that the first kill for the IF team? Nope.
No, not just yet, but it might be almost at the other end. Watching probably in between the Strider, and still not going to go in their favor on the back end. They do finally be able to get one on the Brime. His up. Here comes Black Camel at the back for support. It's a double kill for the Jen. And the last as they foot down on this mid-tier 2. And it's an ace almost as Bye Bye just gets spun. What?
Wow. I have no idea what's going on, but the blue team refused to surrender, so IF will stay in this game for a bit longer. The Herald is brought down in the mid lane, and bye-bye, he's already dead!
He just spawned! Oh, poor guy. Living up to his name at least, though, which is what...
No, yeah, definitely. He's waving goodbye a lot this game by the way that the gold is being poured into the Black Camel's back. But right now, they get nothing more than a tier 2 turret. They do not manage to take down the inhibitor, and that does mean that this game is still yet from being sealed. But if we look at it realistically, I don't think IF will be wondering the what-ifs.
Oh, the Sitchin auto just deletes Ezreal's life, and Perry can do nothing but watch just everything fade away from him. Great screen of death is literally all he knows at this point, bro. As does half the team of IF. It's just
half? I'd say like about 80% of the team right now. Oh no, Aloy goes in for the engage, I guess.
Yeah, at the back, Fisher knocks up 2. The Terrace even possibly get out, though. Aloy gets one, Shuriken lands in. Engages at the back and actually gets the kill too. But look, this Black Camel is fighting with the turret. There's a fight going on 2 different fronts, and he takes him out yet again. Ezreal just spawned. You can't keep doing this to him.
They killed him. They killed them all. Not just men, but the women, the children too. They're just all gone. And look, the Aurelian Soul is still there, and he's dead. Is he?
Yeah, no, he is gone. They're all a bit too low. They couldn't sustain back up at least. Yeah, I respect it, but at least it goes back onto Diana. Yeah, they were definitely a bit too far forward, but hey, look, they get the Drake though. Finally, objectives are being taken.
Oh yeah, well, Drake for IF, that's something we haven't seen yet. Oh no.
Knock up at the back. Being a live jam with a disengage too. All the healing going in their favor, but Drake going over to Bye Bye, at least a win for them at the back.
No, he went in.
Again continues to, let's keep Black Camel trying to force down to Bye Bye, or at least Camel, but can he get one more? No, they cannot, as they're all just running away. That's their main goal. And the Brown will be sacrificial lamp to make sure that his jungler will live on the back and get the knockable. Spikes will connect, and at the back she'll be able to take this on a killing spree. There you go, gets the moonfall at the back as well, but really Soul Barbs and Weeze and the Stars take them out.
Yeah, the Stars are really killer right there, but Bye Bye does get one in the tail end. Does it matter? I guess not.
Unfortunately not, but stalls long enough for support to at least get there. But at least will he die to the wolves? No, they will attack him. Okay, he's okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Breathe.
Is your heart still okay, Ravish?
I don't know if it is, but I can't tell you more. I can't tell if it's excitement or danger, but I know I'm liking it.
That's what matters in the end, as long as it's enjoyable. But right now, it's a heck of a ride, and Black Camel are definitely in the front seat of this particular game. Their IF are climbing back a little bit. 10-minute mark, they kind of didn't let the gold lead balloon even further, but Black Camel are being the culprit of that. They are overextending, they are being overconfident, and you know what they say about overconfidence. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Wow, that was deep, bro. Man, yo, where'd you read that, Dr. Seuss? I want
Darkest Dungeon. That's where I read that.
Hey, that's pretty cool. I think I've heard of that before.
It's a great game.
I agree. Isn't that where Dante goes in down the 7 depths? 7.
Not at all. Not at all. But it probably is a dark dungeon as well. Just not the darkest one.
You're right. Thank you for helping me clear that up. I appreciate you.
No problem, buddy.
As we finally get a bit of love in the game. Nope, I'm a liar. Relenso's coming in, let's start on the back to bro, and immediately Vi will die. Janna will get the kill nonetheless. So, man, this Janna as a support is absolutely killing it, bro. Deadly with these wins.
Definitely. Like, we've seen a couple engage supports, yes. We haven't seen Leona yet. Leona is also a pretty good engage support, but the Braum has been a constant in mostly every game, but I feel like Janna does what Braum does, just a little bit better. She doesn't have the engage capabilities, but she doesn't need to. When she has a Camille, when she has an Akali, there's no engage needed. They just get what they want, and they get out of dodge, and there's just nothing that people can do when a Janna just stops everything from happening around her. She's just a great controlling support. She controls a big area around every team fight she creates. She also keeps the carry safe, and that's all you can ask for, really, especially when the carries are just so far ahead from that early game.
Right now they're considering with Baron in their back pocket, everybody wearing purple on the side of Black Camel. We'll just have to see if they're able to close out the game, but just getting side lanes in their favor is like for the name of the game, which is one thing I do have to commend IF for. They've been really good about making sure that they don't just get collapsed upon. Just as I say that they're getting collapsed upon is Westlife will connect not so far the same golden under the tower nonetheless here, as yet again Black Camel continues to take these solos as tower is enroached. They're in front of the Nexus. Almost all of them are dead. It's just Diana on the left as she has to watch her Nexus fall. TP's in front of them for
gets one kill. Wait.
Which gets 2 nonetheless, but they still got okay. That was almost really sick. That was
almost really sick. Unfortunately, almost. Themselves, where BO1 can be a fluke, but so far I feel like we've seen the better team win mostly every time. They're just very clinical with their performances. They're really killing it on the Wild Rift, and Black Camel, so far, I would argue they're the most dominant team we've seen. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, 1,001%. You know what? 1,002%, Jibruski. Considering from the start, within the first 5 minutes, but to get objective, just everything that IF had was taken out from under their feet. Black Camel as well, the 4-0 in this lane for himself, but absolutely massive. But Measler is definitely one I want to give the biggest shout out to. I may have flamed the Rallying Soul a little bit, but I'll be damned if I didn't get proven wrong.
Oh yeah, he was definitely very good. He wasn't the MVP. We see the Janna with the full AP build, the Luden's Echo, the Rabadon's Death Cap right there. She was dealing a lot of damage with her tornadoes, with her Howling Gales. She was just being a great control mage, basically, for her team. And even though Black Camel were a very bloody team, and they were very overconfident at times, and they did die a lot eventually, they still looked very dominant from very early on, and the other teams will have to really step up if they want to try to stop Black Camel from getting the best of them in the rest of this competition, basically.
I just want to point out that Asami actually got more kills than the Akali and Camille as
Yep.
well, which, like you were mentioning, for support no more, control mage is definitely what we should be calling the gen. As I do believe we do have our first clip from that fight ready and waiting for y'all to see, because it was a fast one. I know it feels like we just started the game about 10 seconds ago, but let me remind y'all what really went down. Look at this, bro.
Yeah, it was already 10-0, but the game had barely begun. It was the first fight where basically Black Camel showed signs of weakness, and by showing signs of weakness, I mean absolutely destroyed the enemy team while leaving a little bit of scraps behind. It was the first ace of this match, and this is where the Janna really popped off. It really started showing her power inside of the Wild Rift, and I'm really expecting to see more Jannas as this tournament goes on.
Consider, like you mentioned, right? One consistent factor in every single one of these games has been the Braum. Now, we talked about a lot just how Braum can be, and considering it is assassin meta too, a lot of burst and with no control wards as well, that's always a fear for many of the squishies in Wild Rift. But with the Braum offers some protection, those concussive blows. If you can land one auto immediately, that safety is given over to you. So I understand why he's such a staple. But yeah, you know, like chaps like Soraka, like the Janna can be so impactful, like you've seen.
Yeah, the Janna is just very, very hard to deal with, especially if you're an assassin, especially if you're trying to dive that backline. Braum can't really do that. Braum is really good at stopping range, at stopping mostly marksmen, like the Ezreal and the Corki that we saw in the first game today. Braum would have been great dealing with those. Unfortunately, that was a Malphite instead of said Braum, but if there was a Braum, he would have been great at dealing with that range, at stopping most of the poke from coming in before the fights really began. But he really can't do anything into assassins. They just roll over them, they get to the targets that they need, and they get out before the concussive blows can even come in as a factor. So it eventually just really doesn't matter. But in the meantime, I think I think we have a second clip up.
We do indeed. So this will take place on the bottom side of the fight this time here, and
right,
this was gross.
Yeah, it was definitely gross. It seemed like Black Camel didn't really know what they were doing. It seemed like they botched it, but then Perry just gets a little bit too close. The Monsoon was so clinical to stop Jackie from dying to that turret, and then Bye just runs out of steam. He can't get to the 80 carry. The Braum does not deal enough damage with his auto attacks, and here, oh, the Janna coming in so clutch. Asami really pulling out an excellent performance on the Enchantress.
The fact that Kaisa gets out of that fight alive should be illegal.
Yeah.
Absolutely criminal. The way that went down, man. Amazing stuff from Black Camel, right? And I believe we'll be seeing more of them as we head throughout this tournament as well. Because remember here, friends, with this game, when this day going on just so fast, we do have semifinals, which will be BO3s. And, you know, so just so you all understand, right? With the BO3, because of how Wild Rift is set up, for the first game, if you going into the next and the third, you cannot pick the same champs you picked in the first. As I am right as any far, go ahead and correct me, call me out, please berate me if I'm wrong.
No, you're correct. On the second game of the series, you cannot pick the same champions that you picked on the first game. But on the third game, given that it's a best of one, it basically resets. You can basically pick whatever champion you want on the last game of the series. So on the first and the last game of the series. So it's basically a way to express even better your skills on the Rift. And not only that, but starting with the best of threes on the semifinals, we will have draft happening. There are no bans on Wild Rift, but it will still be a draft game, so it will not have repeated champions on both sides of the Wild Rift.
Making the game just that much more exciting, where we can have, you know, like actual counters going into the lanes. As I believe clip 3 is ready and waiting for us as well to really just close out this final segment for us and close the game between Black Camel and IF. Though, looking at this is the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, definitely the nail in the coffin. It was the last team fight of the game. They just run it down. The Camille just gets so many people together, and look at Janna enabling everyone, just getting bye on the wrong side of the trench. He just gets completely annihilated, and finally Yes, we see the Diana still coming in clutch. She still gets a couple kills and pops one Guardian Angel, but by then, the Nexus is already completely destroyed. So it was a last-ditch effort that eventually did not work out.
Yes, sir. Now, before we head off, though, I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to, because if you're enjoying this and want to see a lot more of these tournaments, y'all want to make sure to check out Wild Rift Origins, right? Europe, CIS, Turkey, the Middle East, North America, and North Africa. Welcome to League of Legends Wild Rift Origins series. This is a 300,000-pound tournament with the first qualifiers running on 5th of June. Euros, you are correct. You know what? Let's say I forgot. I'm still not over Brexit.
Right.
I apologize.
Oh, no, that's perfectly fine.
Now, this event will run monthly with the first qualifiers on the 5th of June, like I mentioned. Now, if you want to get involved, you want to make sure to use _origins in the chat as well to get the link and all the info and more for Wild Rift Origins series. Now, with that being said, we are going to cut it to a short break. When we come back, we'll have the semifinals for y'all. See you in a bit.
Bye-bye.